on another volume, or using the utility that comes with Windows to back up, because it is there. It is there in your computer. You just have to look for it the way we looked at for the other one, and then you can back. But usually it is there. You back up the disk, you go to the disk, as I said, right click on your hard disk, and then you find those utilities there. Backing up means saving work, having a copy of your work saved on another device or another volume somewhere, and keep it away from your computer. Okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you were born today, but for us who were born long ago, our parents used to have food backups. Yes. Now, when you go to eastern areas, you find granaries. Granaries store food for future use, and then there is the food we use when famine comes. When famine comes, then we start using the one that we stored in the granaries. That food stored in granaries is our backup food. If you are a basketball or netball player, you know those people in the reserve. The first team goes into the field and the arena, and when one of the players gets an injury, the one you say is seated on the chair comes into backup. Okay, so those are the examples I can give you. You store your work somewhere else. In case this one you have on your computer gets spoiled, you get the other copy and use it. I was also telling one of you that your Google account, for example, activated on your phone and saving your contacts in Google may save you a lot of problems. When your phone is stolen and you get a new one, you just sign in with your Google account, and all the contacts that you had come back onto your new phone. That is backup. Okay. Okay, time is done. Shall continue from there. They have been there. Okay, people, let us meet next week, inshallah.
Bye, teacher.
See you.
Teacher.
Bye.
Teacher, is it okay if I ask you?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Teacher, what's the use of a modem?
Modem. The word modem comes from two words.
Yes.
One is modulator and demodulator. Okay. These modems came up because computers, computers are digital based. They use digital data, and telephone lines or telephone services use analog data. And then when the merger of the two, communication and the information, came up, computers had to communicate with other computers via a telephone line. And in order for signals to go over a telephone line, there had to be a device between this computer and the telephone line that could transform the data, the digital data of the computer, into a form a telephone line can transmit. As we said, telephone lines transmit analog data. So a modem modulates data. Modulating means that transforming data from digital to analog, so that the data can be transmitted over telephone line. Then the receiving end will meet these signals, the analog signals will meet another modem, which will demodulate data from analog signals to digital signals, so that the other computer on the other side can receive it and be able to understand it. So the purpose of a modem was basically to modulate, data from analog to digital, and then demodulate from analog to digital, so that these two things can work together. And all the modems, even if that one you connect to your computer, does the same thing, because that modem has a telephone line inside there, okay? So it modulates and modulates so that we can, the two can work together. So the purpose of a modem is transform data from analog, from digital to analog, and then from analog back to digital. Is that okay?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Is it okay now?
Excuse
Yes,
me, teacher.
teacher.
Okay. Yes.
Excuse me, teacher.
Well, yes, please.
I had a quick question.
You?
I had a quick question.
Mm,
Like spyware. Like spyware. Is that spyware attached to certain files which are on the internet? Spyware.
No, a spyware doesn't attach itself to any file. In fact, you install spyware programs yourself on your computer. Do you know how? You go to the computer, you find some fancy things, and you install them on the computer. Or you get tricked finding a program, for example, those ones which claim to be registry cleaners, and then you download them on your computer. Or you find a fancy screensaver or pictures of those people you celebrate, and then install them on your computer. So now, when you install that program, all the picture, all the the screensaver on your program, it comes with a hidden kind of program that's going to read your ways of using your computer. Whatever you do, it records whatever you do. So it spies on what you do with your computer, to the extent that they can even read keystrokes that you make on your keyboard. And if you use your computer to shop and you key in your secret code for your credit card, it may be a reason for those hackers to steal your money from your bank. Okay, so a spyware is a program that is installed. It doesn't affect other programs or other files on your computer, but it reads your movements on your computer. That is the spyware.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like, sometime at school, I asked people if they send a picture, like, let me say, I asked someone for work and they send you a picture when it's not clear. How do I make it clear for myself? They say you scan it. Is it true? And how do I scan the picture to make it clear?
A picture which is not clear, it means that somebody who probably scanned the picture didn't use devices that were good enough. Okay, so to make it clear or to improve on it, you may need some programs like Photoshop to change it somehow, you know, kind of washing it so that it may look a little bit better. But scanning it, you can't scan it because it is not a problem. It's not a virus. It's just a file that was not properly made. A dark picture may be improved by a graphics program like Photoshop that works on graphics or pictures. Otherwise, I don't know of any utility other than the programs I mentioned that can improve on the appearance of your picture, or enhance the appearance of your picture. I haven't heard of one. So do you have one that requires retouching?
No, I was just asking to find out. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Yes.
Teacher, what are the reasons
Hmm?
to change? What are the reasons that may force a computer user to change their operating system?
Okay. One, the operating system may be old. Two, it may be corrupted, that it's not performing well and someone needs to change it. But many times these days, people change the operating systems to upgrade their computers, But sometimes that doesn't work well if the computer hasn't resources to accommodate the new operating system. Some computers become slower because the new programs are bigger and they require a lot of resources of the memory, and they need also faster processors. And usually these people who manufacture computers manufacture them for a particular operating system of that time. For example, many manufacturers of computers today are manufacturing computers for Windows 10. And the previous computers which were manufactured during the Windows or Vista, during the time of Windows Vista, those computers were made for Windows Vista. And if you give it Windows 10, you are somehow giving it too much work than it can accommodate, because the memory that they gave to that computer was for Windows Vista, and now you're giving it Windows 10. But usually they change to move from older version to newer versions, or at times when their Windows are not performing well. There are some operating systems that didn't really very popular. Windows Millennium was not very popular as Windows 2000 was. And you find Windows XP was very popular, that some banks are still using it because of its good performance. So they change according to that. And another thing, that if you still have Windows XP, for example, if you're not a bank that's going to give too much money to the producer, to the manufacturers to maintain, to service the operating systems, you will not have many programs that will run on your older version. You'll find that those programs are no longer written, or they are no longer on the market. And in order to continue using your computer, you need a version that is newer, so that you can accommodate the new versions of other application programs that are on market. That is also another important reason, because if you have Windows XP, you not get antivirus for Windows XP now. You not get antivirus for Windows 2000, or even Windows Vista or Windows 7, because they are no longer Microsoft is no longer supporting them anymore. Okay, it's not supporting them anymore. So that is the reason probably why people may wish to change from Windows to Windows. Yes.
Teacher, could you please tell me the uses of virtual memory during data processing?
Virtual data processing.
Virtual memory during data processing. Yes, could you please tell me the uses?
Virtual memory. Let me find out. But the expression I give may not be as correct. Let me try out something. Okay? Mr. Virtual memory. What is the use of virtual memory in data processing? So, okay, virtual memory, what I know is that virtual memory makes processing faster. It makes processing faster, and it works like cache memory. Have you heard of cache memory? Hello?
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay, that cache memory is kind of memory that can be accessed faster by the CPU, and usually it stores frequently used instructions. It makes data processing faster than when the CPU picks instructions from main memory. So virtual memory, the word virtual means that doesn't exist, but as you work, the commands that you use frequently are stored in cache, and then when you do such tasks, then the processor works faster because the virtual memory is closer to the CPU than the RAM, the main memory. But I think I need to find about more, and you too can teach me, because if you have a computer and the internet, then you can also try to find out. And probably when we meet next time, you tell me, okay?
Teacher, I never got the second use. I only got one. You said it makes processing faster. And another one?
Okay, I talked about, I related virtual memory to cache memory. Cache is written like C-A-C-H-E, cache. And usually it stores frequently used commands by the CPU. And when the CPU is working, first it checks from that memory which is closer before it goes to RAM. So making the processing of data faster than when CPU was going directly to RAM. That's what I said. But I also said that you can also Google and find out more. Probably may get a better answer than what I've given you.
Okay, sure.
Teacher.
Teacher, I have one more question.
Come on. What do you want?
Teacher, I have one more question.
Yes.
Teacher, what's the need to justify during information processing?
Someone is knocking. Hold on. What is?
Teacher, why do you need to justify the need for information processing?
Come again?
Have to justify the need for information processing. Why?
So the need for information processing, usually information processing is meant for, I would say, what do you do without information? Because information is teaching us. I mean, we learn or we do things because of information. If you want to learn now, I'm giving you information so that you can learn. So processing information means that we are, what can I use? We are trying to promote learning, promote communication, and then bringing the world closer together. That is because when you process information, you're actually talking about everything concerning information and computer information, sharing information, storing information, and so on. So whatever we do, you're writing a book, you are writing a letter, you are doing some work, you are going to need information. There's nothing you can do in the world without using that information. So processing information, at least when you're talking about actual computer processing information, but that is the reason why you have computers, they process information. But the reason for processing information, for why you have information, is to bringing the world together like we are together now. It's because of information, and I'm also giving information that you're learning. you are, you know, increasing knowledge. You are increasing in knowledge. You get information about other things. For example, medicine, you get information about medicine. Okay, so many things. That's why we process information. And so you haven't. I don't know whether I tried to explain well, but information is important in many ways. Even if you become a doctor, you need information. You need information on medicine, how to diagnose patients. If you are a lawyer, you will need information to increase your knowledge about your job.
So,
if you are a farmer, you need information to do more in agriculture. If you are a teacher, you need information to have what,
teacher.
Developing ourselves. Yes.
Teacher, so in a school setup, what are the examples of information in a school setup?
Examples of information in a school setup?
Yeah. Yes.
Now I'll start with you. Okay.
Yes.
When did you come here in senior 1 or senior 5?
Form 1.
Form 1. Don't you think they asked you about where you came from, what your name is?
Yes.
How many aggregates did you get? Okay. And when they got all that information, then we went to our school system and entered your names. And now we know if we want your name to find you, you are Nakalembe. Who are you? Okay, whoever you are.
Cindy.
Then we go. Yes, you come to me and ask me, teacher, I lost my identity card. Then I'll ask you who you are so that I can process your identity card. Now, your parents want to know how you are performing in school. If we don't have any records about your performance, what do we tell them? That is important. Another importance of information. So it helps us move along well when we know what we are doing. A school cannot stand without information. If you are a businesswoman, you will not do your business without information. For example, you need to know your clients. You need to know what they need. What is the interest now? What is required on the market, right? So that I can produce that. If you're doing things blindly, then your business will not continue. So you need information from clients. You need information from suppliers of the products you use to make products to your suppliers. All that. In school, we want to know how you are performing. We want to know which class you are. We want to know which dormitory you sleep. If nobody has such information, then a parent comes to ask, where's my daughter? Where does she sleep? And no one knows. Okay? Is it okay now?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, so Cindy, we keep information, academic information, health, and then your personal information, and then we also need to know who your parents are. All that is information. So when we get it, we don't get problems. Now someone falls sick and then we start asking, who knows the telephone number for this girl? The headmistress doesn't know, the deputy doesn't know, and nobody knows. So what do we do with you? Just one telephone number, giving it to me, that is information, because those digits, 8 or 10, can secure someone's life. That is information. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Some apps of mine are freezing, like just stop suddenly. Stop the phone, the WhatsApp, the YouTube.
Don't you think you're putting too much? And yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay, before that, let's. Okay, guys, have a nice time.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
You have overutilized the teacher. You computer girls.
You want to get her birth certificate.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let us go to and storage.
So you're going, no, but you
But
don't you think it is cheaper to make another one?